Welcome to Ostomy and IBD Life. This is a weekly show where we get to discuss topics from the physical to the mental to emotional aspects of having an ostomy or IBD or IBS. I'm Elaine O'Rourke. I'm your host. I've had my ileostomy now for 15 years due to Crohn's disease. So I know all of the different struggles, the different feelings that arise, the pain from all of this, but luckily I am thriving in life, and there's nothing that brings me more pleasure than also helping other people with ostomies and IBD. So I'd love to hear from you. If just go ahead and leave a comment. I'd love to know if you have an ostomy, what type of ostomy you have, or if you have Crohn's or colitis or IBS, or where you're tuning in from, what part of the world that you are in. So each week, we'll be talking about something different, and I'm going to have different guest speakers on. Next week, I'm going to have ostomy and wound nurse, Nurse Anita on, and that's going to be great and really informative. Today, I'm going to get into a pretty deep topic and something that I feel that isn't talked about enough. I recently had a very profound and powerful experience. A good friend of mine, Sarah, had an emergency surgery, life-saving surgery, due to Crohn's disease from a flare-up, and then she got septicemia. So this saved her life, but she now has a permanent ileostomy. This is also the first person who's a friend of mine that I know that has an ostomy. Um, so I went over to visit her. She lives right near me. So when she got out of hospital, her surgery was in July. And mind you, the last time I'd seen her was at the start of the summer. We were down the beach swimming. She's super vibrant, really active. So it just goes to show how sneaky Crohn's disease is, and how it can rear its ugly head really fast. So now, after her surgery, I went over to visit her a couple of weeks ago, and it was an intense experience. She walked out of her back steps, and just to be able to witness her, to witness that it took every effort to put one foot in front of the other, and we were meeting outside in her yard, and to see like she'd lost so much weight. She was down to skin and bone, and that protective stance that I knew so well, of the rounded shoulders, the protecting the belly, holding on to the ostomy, afraid it's gonna fall off. But when she saw me, she just burst into tears, and she was saying, "I feel such grief. I'm just grieving so much." And of course, when I saw her, I started crying because I knew exactly what she was saying, but I also felt like I was having a flashback to 15 years ago. I was looking at her and seeing my own self. So I'm witnessing what she is going through, but I'm also been given this opportunity to see what I look like, and to go back into the eyes of being so fresh with the ostomy, still dealing with issues due to Crohn's disease. And it was profound. It was really profound. Um, and it was a reminder that at that stage that you're in such survival mode, that I was amazed that she was able to even put the words together of the grief. And that's what I want to talk about today, is the grief and the sadness, because it is so real. But because you're in survival mode, you're just trying to figure out, oh, how does the appliance work? What products do I need? What clothes can I wear? What foods can I eat? That oftentimes all of that intense emotion, you're just trying to squish it down. You're trying to just go away. I'm dealing with enough already. Or if you're in a flare up, it's the same thing. You're just trying to get through the day, you're trying to conserve your energy. So, this is what I'm talking about today is the grief and sadness, and to be able to approach it in a safe way, to be able to release it out of the body so that to give it a voice, but also then to let it go so that you can clear up that energy for your health and well-being. Thankfully, my friend Sarah, now the next time I went to visit her last week, she was already putting on some weight and doing so much better. Um, but it was that witnessing factor of being able, I just thought this is what it was like for my mum to see me, for my sister who was looking after me all the time to see me. And it felt I was honored in a really weird way to be able to be a witness for a really good friend of mine, and to be able to hold her hand, even though we can't hold hands at the moment due to COVID, but to be able to be there for someone and to be a support to someone. So leave me any comments. If any of this is resonating with you, then please say so, or let me know what you're thinking, or what you have gone through, or what your struggles have been. I'm also going to put in a link to my website, elaineo'rourke.com, and there's an ostomy programs page and an IBD page, and you can download a free guide to help you out. So I hope that that was helpful, and this is important to talk about. I would love to hear from you. So I'm going to teach you a technique now that will hopefully help to reduce any grief or sadness that you're feeling around your ostomy, around your IBD, or whatever. If you have some other disease, if you've had cancer, it's just really helpful technique that I use very successfully with my clients. So I invite you to just get comfortable. Close your eyes for a moment and just take some deep breaths in and out through the nose if you can. And just allow the shoulders to relax. Slow down the breathing. Relax your face. And just feel into your body. Just notice how you're feeling right now. Even notice how you're feeling with me talking already about this subject. If there's any tightness in the chest, if you feel tension in your shoulders, if you're feeling butterflies in your belly, anything that you are experiencing. Or if you're already feeling emotion surfacing, just notice that. This technique is emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping. The great thing about it is that there's zero side effects, and you can do it anywhere, anytime, and it's best done if you can say it out loud. I'm going to guide us through a general script, but you can feel free to make it more personal for you. So when I'm working with clients, I will zoom in on what is going on for them. So feel free to change any words so it feels more personal if you wish to. This technique, we're just tapping on different acupressure points on the body, so it will bring you into a more relaxed state because it helps to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system. So you might just feel just more relaxed by doing this. So feel your feet on the ground, and you're just going to repeat after me what I am saying, and notice how you feel as we are doing this. Just at the side of the hand, and you're going to follow the different points that I am going through. Saying out loud, repeating after me. So it's a little bit like Simon Says. Take a deep breath in. Just let it go, relax. Even though I feel grief and sadness, about my condition, my ostomy, IBD, IBS. I choose to relax into my body now. Even though I feel really sad about what has happened to my body, I am open to accepting how I feel. Even though I feel guilty about feeling sad, because I'm also grateful that I am alive. But I am choosing to honor and accept all my feelings. Okay, so from here we're going to the inner eyebrow, so just repeat and follow along. All this grief and sadness. All this grief and sadness that I'm feeling. This sadness about this loss of a part of me. This grief in my body. So we're just going under the nose here. This sadness that my body isn't functioning as it is designed to. The collarbones. This grief for a loss of time. This sadness, it's such a lonely journey. This grief inside of me for all the things that I'm missing out on. For not being able to do what everyone else is doing. This sadness for not being able to be there for other people, for my family, my friends. But this grief and sadness, it's real. I can feel the sadness in my body. But I wonder if it's possible that this grief and sadness is helping me. That it's okay to experience this grief and sadness right now. After all, my body has been through so much. My body does so much for me. That of course my body wants to release this grief and sadness. This is a way that my body is communicating with me right now. I'm listening. Body, I am listening to you. It's natural to feel this, and it's okay. It's good to release this sadness through tears. It might even be anger. But I'm listening to you, body, and I'm giving a voice to these emotions. I recognize that it is better to release these emotions safely, like I'm doing right now. It is better than them exploding within me. And my body is so grateful to have this release. Even at times, even if I feel really angry with my body, I am grateful to be able to release these emotions. I am grateful for this opportunity to release any sadness, any grief from the cells in my body. My body is so grateful for all that I am doing to help it. By releasing these feelings of sadness, I am clearing up space for healing. I am giving myself more energy for healing now. I'm giving myself more space and energy for bringing light into my body, for accepting who I am with my ostomy, with my disease, whatever it is. It's okay. I am choosing to relax into my body and to accept all of these feelings, and I choose to release these feelings. Okay, good. So take a nice deep breath in. Ah, just let it out through the mouth, through the nose, closing the eyes again if you wish to. And just notice how you feel from voicing how you're feeling, for expressing that. And that was just very general, but just notice how you feel. And if you have any comments, please put them in there. I'd love to hear from you. Feel your feet on the ground and know that it's okay. We all go through this. Nurse Anita is going to be my guest next week. We're going to be talking about leaks, which is a big issue for people with ostomies, especially at the start, and also about skin breakdown. Hopefully, we'll get that in there as well. So make sure that you tune in again next week at 5 o'clock. Also, get to my website, elaineo'rourke.com. If you have any suggestions of topics that you would like me to discuss, or different people from the medical community to get them on, then let me know. All right, take care of yourself, and I will look forward to seeing you next week live at 5.